All right, guys. Hello. How are you? Um, well, that was a real question. How are you guys? Like, what's up?
Oh, yeah. I'm doing good, man. It's been a little
Cool.
bit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing
Awesome.
pretty good.
Good to see you. We're back in our original setup. This is after our wonderful experience. Amanda and I had with the recording the podcast in person.
Yeah.
That was great.
Tell me a little bit about that. How'd that go for you guys?
That was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. If you watch that video, I'm really nervous in the beginning. I'm just a poor man from California. But it was like, oh, the cameras was nice, the chairs was comfortable, and it was like, oh, I didn't have to do anything. Like, okay, cool. Like, well, I don't know. What about you, man? What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a good setup.
Yeah.
I feel like after we recorded it, you were like, "Man, we should do this every time."
Yeah. Yeah. But we still struggling over here. So back to the books.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got an interesting conversation today. So first, let me start off with something that happened recently with a friend of mine. She's a young girl, like 23 years old. Her and I talk back and forth about like relationship stuff, things. She gets my advice or asking for my advice on certain things and dealing with certain guys. And I try to give her like just like an open dialogue of feedback, because honestly, I don't necessarily know these guys she's dealing with. So it's kind of hard to like lump everybody in one bag, basically. But she recently brought to me attention this video. Actually, we was talking about it. We actually had a difference of opinion on how she saw it and how I saw it. Maybe because I'm just older than her, but I wanted to show you guys and actually get your opinion on the situation. It's mainly about the principle of the matter, between requests from a girl to her man, basically, or vice versa. Let me show you the video what the guy explains, so then come back and talk about it. All right.
All right.
If you don't understand what she means by it's the principle, let me tell you a story, a situation that actually happened to me. So it was her time of the month. She was in an emotional headspace, rightfully so. She had a very long day. I think she had some car trouble. Her day was already not going well. I'm sitting there playing the game. I done ate. I'm laughing, joking. I'm kicking it. Shit is going great. She walks up to me and she was like, "Hey, I'm about to go get in the shower. Do you mind running out and going to get me a Pepsi?" So I said, "Yes, I'll run out and go get you a Pepsi." She go gets in the shower. I finish my game. That led to 2 games. That led to 3 games. 45 minutes later, she come back out and said, "Hey, where's the Pepsi?" I'm sitting there looking stupid, empty handed. So she runs off, throws her temper tantrum. I run out. I go to the store. I get a 12-pack of Pepsis. I pull back up. I'm thinking problem solved. Shit, you wanted 1 Pepsi. I pulled up with 12 of them bitches, right? She didn't accept them. She didn't want them, and she ain't fucked with me for 2 days. So after that shit was over with, we talked about it, and this is what I uncovered from it. It wasn't about the Pepsis. It was the principle. And the principle was in her most emotional and vulnerable state, I did not show up for her the first time. And that's where I made the mistake. And anybody that thinks that's a little thing, it's only a little thing if you don't love her urgently. And if you don't take her serious. Because if you do take her serious, you would have got your ass out there and got them Pepsis. You feel what I'm saying? And I put myself in that situation. And that also lost me a little bit of credibility of being her provider. It's always the little things. So don't think that it's the grand gestures and it's the big ass mistakes that'll lead to a woman resenting you. It's little things and not taking them serious enough to act on them.
Okay. Before you guys respond, I wanted to tell you what my opinion was, what the girl's opinion was. She sent it to me and basically said like blank guy doesn't know about it's the principle, basically. And this was my response to her. I just saw this video in my feed, and let me tell you, with my entire heart and soul, if my girlfriend even thinks about sending me out the house right when I'm about to play a game with the homies, unless she's carrying my child, she's out of her damn mind. Now, with that information, what do you guys think?
Wait. So you said unless she's carrying my child. So if your girlfriend was pregnant and you sat down to play the game and she asked you to go get her some ice cream or something, you're gonna get up and go. No problem.
Yes, in that
because
case,
she's pregnant.
Yes.
Why does that change anything?
Why did that's the question, Zach.
Yeah.
That's the question, Zach. I feel like at that point, it's not just her dealing with her own issues. This makes me sound sexist. I don't care. It's not just her dealing with her own issues. She's dealing with another entire human being that's obviously putting pressure on her organs, on her mental state, and in some cases, she really physically can't go. It'd be the same thing if whether she was pregnant or we had a baby in the house, or if there was some other human being we were responsible for, or if she was somehow incapacitated and couldn't go herself, basically. And the other factor is, it's not just that I don't want to do this for her. It's specifically the timing. Like, I'm right in the middle of some shit. Mind you, it's not like dire important. Like, I'm not gonna make or break me. I'm not gonna lose my job if I stop playing this game. At the same time, though, she's not gonna expire if she don't get this soda. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So those are my thoughts. Go ahead, disagree with me if you can.
The if you can is crazy, brother.
Go ahead. The if you can right there, it was in the video. He said she was on her period. It was that time of the month. So she's not dealing with her regular emotions. She's dealing with emotions up here. This is regular up here. Okay. So it's basically like she's pregnant. When you're on your period, your hormones are completely off, just like when you're pregnant. So it's the same thing, except that you don't have another person growing inside you. She is incapacitated, especially if she's having cramps. Some girls can't even get off the floor when they have cramps. That's probably why she went to go take a shower.
Fair enough. I heard all that. Anyways,
I don't care.
The other thing is like, again, to me, if it was like, if we had them in the house, because that happens a lot. Then they just say, not to say I'd never go out and get things for her. And then sometimes it's like, oh, can you get me this from the kitchen? Like, damn it, I just sat down, like, and I'll go and get it for her. And she'll do the same for me, basically. So that would probably lessen or raise my likelihood of doing it for me, basically. But to specifically get up, get in my car, go to the store, and get all this, basically, is an issue for me. And it's just it's mainly because I wouldn't expect her. I would expect her to do the same, basically. I wouldn't ask of her to stop if she was doing, drawing or painting. She likes to paint. Stop in the middle of your painting to go get me this soda. Now I get you. I can't compare how a man feels to how a woman goes through, her bodily functions and how upsetting that is and how uncomfortable that is. But even my girl said the same thing. She wouldn't ask of me that, basically.
Well, you can go.
Go ahead. Okay. I was gonna say. So, in the video, she says, "I'm gonna go take a shower." Whatever. He's playing a game, but then she asks him to go get the Pepsi, and so he has a time window that he can do this. The problem there was he didn't use his time window effectively at all. Like, he just chose that playing the game was more important, so he chose to play game 2, 3, whatever. And that's why I agree with her, because it's not like she said, "Get off this game right now, go get me Pepsi." She said, "Can you get me some Pepsi before, I get out of the shower?" So he had plenty of time to play the game. It's all good. Tell the homies I'll be right back. And then, they can play a little solo game for 20 minutes or whatever while you go to the store. Yeah. I don't think it was a big ask. I think his timing priorities were a little out of whack there. So I'm going to say,
I'm glad that he realized it, because he did realize it in that video.
He did. So there's a couple things here. One, as a gamer, I don't know what game he's playing. You can play 2 to 3 times in 45 minutes. It sounds like Call of Duty. That also makes me not want to be on his side. Call of Duty is so basic, but that's a whole other argument. The other thing I will give you a point on, the women in this case, or Amanda, Zach, whatever, is that if it was me, I would have said right then, I can't do it now. Once I'm done, I will go and get it. If I did say yes at that point, and I had to listen to it a couple of times, he just said, "Yeah, I'll do it." I can empathize with the disappointment of you getting out the shower 45 minutes. You just said you would do it and not being done, basically. Okay, so I see that. I understand. So the other part of this is that, because my friend, right, she connects this to, and I see a lot of people do this situation. Let me ask you guys if you do the same thing. Does this situation now, because even he said it actually, and now lessens himself in her eyes as a provider. Is this situation that impactful? Do you see this as now, if you can't trust him with this small thing, can you not trust him with the important stuff?
maybe not the first time, but me personally, I've had where somebody has a pattern of doing this. I'll ask them to do something and they won't do it for a couple days or a few hours or something. And I'm just like, I
Yes.
need it done right.
Yeah.
Like, and then like usually if I ask, it's because I can't do it. I literally can't do it. So I'm asking you to do it. And if I need it done right now because it's impacting what else I need to do, then that's when it gets really annoying. And even though I can't physically do it, I'll go try and do it myself and hurt myself
Right.
because you're not there for me trying to help me. So in this instance, it's a soda. I get it because I know how bad my period has been in the past. Like my period has been so bad in the past that I could not eat. I felt nauseous. I could not get up off the floor. And my lips are turning blue because like I have no oxygen because I'm in that much pain. So I've had my mom, my brothers, whoever go out and give me a smoothie because that's literally all I could eat. So I empathize with her in this case on that, but a soda and her not trusting him after that and whatever, I think that's a little over dramatic. But if there's a pattern, then yeah, that's a problem.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It depends on the history of how often that has occurred and continues to occur. But I don't know, it really does come down to like your partner's expectations of you too. Because I don't know, like let's say for example, any one of our partners, that might not be a big deal at all, and it might not affect their ability to think, about you as a provider to them or what you can offer to them. It might have really no bearing, and they're just like, oh yeah, that's annoying, but whatever. But for other people, they do pay attention to those little things as indicators of what your personality is like overall, where your priorities are overall. So you got to understand, I guess, how to put it, like the pressure of what the request is depends upon the requester.
Yes,
So,
and to that point, I think maybe it could be somebody that was triggered because they had somebody that did this in the past where they didn't take anything seriously, so they're already triggered. And the first time you do it, they're like, "Man, he's gonna be just like that other guy."
yeah.
Those are good points. And that point I also did bring up to her, and I was thinking about was that the fact that this apparently means more to her in this video. This meant more to her, his girl, than it did to him at that time. Basically, I don't understand why it's not explained because not everybody is on the same wavelength. Obviously, this guy didn't think that was a big issue. If I asked my girl for something and she said, yeah, she just didn't do it, all right, well, whatever. Like if it's something like that simple, going to get a soda, I'm not gonna get it myself. I'm ass out. I don't care. But I can see in that situation if it's that important. Now, mind you, if my girl came to me and said, "Babe, I am on my period. It is kicking my ass today. I had a really bad day at work. My car, I would really make me happy just right now if you could just go give me a soda from the store."
And
Okay.
that's when you're like, hell no, I'm playing games.
I'm like, okay. If that and that's kind of like to me that's a green light for a woman to manipulate her man. I feel like that is like positive.
Hold on.
I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna say it. It's manipulation. Manipulation, whether it's positive or negative. This is using your manipulation powers for good in this case, because he obviously he should care about you. I mean, I don't see a woman saying that in that kind of mindset, like you literally like I am like I need you, and the motherfucker just saying no to your face. Like at that point, yeah, he just don't love you. But this kind of is like, kind of murky because I'm sure he was thinking like, oh, okay, it's just a soda. Like who needs a soda? Like
I don't think that's what it was. I think, I'm sure you have this issue sometimes. When you get into the zone, when you're playing your game, you just get further and further into the game. I think that's what happened to him.
Oh, definitely. I was getting straight last night. She was trying to talk to me. I'm like, babe, can you please stop talking to me for a minute? I'm losing. But so yeah, that happens, and it's like sometimes she'll ask me for stuff in the middle, and then sometimes she'll do it just because she knows I'm in the middle of a game. She's conniving, and it's like, but that's okay. I kind of like it. Not like I'm weird like that. I'm weird like that.
I just want to point out that's the craziest thing I think you've ever said on this podcast. It's a green flag if a girl manipulates.
To me, hey, bro.
My brother in Christ, you need some therapy.
Nah. It happens every day. I'm just calling it like I see it. People get manipulated out here. You either get manipulated for, selfish gains or, positive or negative type of thing. Okay. At that point, you're using your emotions to get something out of somebody. What do you call that? That's manipulation. Is it not? I mean,
no. I mean, that fits the definition. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not. The math.
I'm just saying.
2 plus 2 is equal
by
to
somebody.
4.
I'd rather be manipulated by somebody who cares about it. I'm just saying.
Just a crazy statement in general. I just want to point that out. There's some strange things going on in the David household.
Right. I mean, that's obviously, that's the good. But if you're going to manipulate for good.
Manipulate for Pepsi. Women out there, get your Pepsi.
Oh my
God. I'm tired. So again, and it's not like, to me, where I saw the issue was, I was kind of like, because a girl came back to me, my friend was like, wow, that's sad. And I'm like, what? Because I can see this as like really being like manipulative, and it's like, and self-centered, honestly. I'm gonna be real. Biology aside, I feel like expecting someone else to value something as much as you're valuing it, like without you expressing that to them, is disingenuous at best.
I feel like when you break it down to that level, I can agree with that. I can agree with that very simple state. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look great.
So I feel like that happens a lot. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, everyone keeps saying like guys should just know, and it's like, I don't know what about guys made you think we just know shit like that. We do a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Dudes do a lot of dumb stuff. Like, so you can just automatically expect us to be like socially conscious about what your words mean, other than what they mean, like in the dictionary. That's good. You're gonna have a bad time. Like, you're setting yourself up for failure. And I would tell the guy the same thing. Your girl just ain't gonna expect her to know like how to, support you or something like that without you telling her. Like, she gonna try to support you like how she would want to be supported. Like, that just makes sense to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so at that point, the issue of like connecting, if he can't do this, can I not trust him? And if my life was on the line or something like that. And this just all blows us out of whole proportion. It's like, mind you, at the end of the day though, he said, he should have went.
That's what I was going to say. I think that's the point. The point is that she said, while I'm in the shower, can you get me a Pepsi? He said yes, and then he didn't do it. I think that's the point.
That is the point. He agreed to something. He didn't fulfill. That's where that's not me. Hey, I'm letting you know. When I'm done, I can get it. We're going to work this out. So you can be mad. At least you know what I'm saying, and I'm not disappointed. So, okay, cool. We got it. Okay, amicably. We came to a compromise. Yeah. So, guys, let them know if you don't want to. If you ain't ready to do something. And a lot of guys are kind of like, they'll be with girls and they'll really be kind of cautious about trying to upset them, type of thing. So they won't even like speak up for themselves, type of thing. And it's kind of I kind of been that way before. I'm not gonna lie. And so you kind of have to toe that line between being a complete pushover and being an asshole. I don't feel like being an asshole is that. Just speaking, hey, like, I'm actually doing something right now. Like, if you really need it, I'll go. Just let me finish up here, and then, just communication. Yeah. Communicate. Both of you, like, everybody just communicate. Just use the words that's in your head. Just say those, and just bounce them off another person, the person in your life. It's like they can throw words at you. Y'all can, like, agree on something, as opposed to, like, talking past, like, one person on one page, other person on a whole different page, and you have situations like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you guys. I hear you.
All right. I hear you too. At first, I was like, man, this dude needs some milk or something. I don't know.
I hear you. We used our words. See, we can't do it. There you go. All right.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Okay. Now, speaking of words, there's a lot of words said about this next topic, and I know you guys are on TikTok. I'm for your sake, I'm glad you're not, because the last 2 weeks have been really, really dumb. And so I'm going to open this video with the question, and unfortunately, it's not unfortunately, it's mainly for women. So Amanda, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a random man or a bear?
The hell kind of question is that?
Right.
It sounds like a stupid, silly question, but it's been setting TikTok on fire for the entire month of April.
I mean, I guess a random man, because I feel like you have a greater chance of, if you have to kill something, it's easier to kill a man than a bear.
Speaking facts, let's go ahead and see the original video so I can show you what I mean by this and what a lot of women are saying in this case. Let me show you guys.
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Bear. Man is scary. With a bear. Well, I've heard about bears. They don't always attack you, right? Unless you like fuck with them. So maybe a bear.
Depends what man, but probably a bear.
Oh, 100% a bear, which is like terrifying to say, but
Definitely a bear. Some men are very scary out there.
a bear.
I would say a man.
Oh, well, last girl said, man, that's great.
There's a lot of trauma
Coming from.
going on.
I get where they're coming from, but like I said, at the end of the day, it'll be easier to kill a man than a bear.
That is absolutely true. Trust me, I've been fighting for my life in like multiple video comments. You would think, and I mean, maybe you're on the same page I was, Zach. Kind of like, obviously, I mean, which one would you choose, Zach? I mean, random man or a bear? This is so you'll feel left out.
I mean, I guess I would choose the man. It sounds psychotic to choose a bear.
Right.
I'm gonna choose a wild animal that is known to kill people.
Right. But,
Right.
and one of the girls said that sometimes bears don't attack unless you mess with them. That is not true.
They're territorial. They'll just attack you because you're in their space.
Especially if they have bear cubs or something around.
100%, yeah.
All that is facts. Now, trust me, because I've seen like at least 100 videos on this, and I want to accurately portray exactly what their feelings are as far as this bear versus man video.
I'm pretty sure I know what their feelings
are. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me go ahead and get you some video evidence of somebody talking about it, so that way we can all be on the same page. I don't want to be accused of not getting the point. How most men were, oh, we don't get it. So let's see someone explain it so that way we can get it. Okay, hold on.
Are y'all realizing that myself and other women are saying bear because we would quite literally rather die? And then we have some people saying, well, not all bears, just because one bear did it doesn't mean that all bears would do it. You shouldn't be scared of all bears. Let's get a lineup of bears and you show me which one I should be fucking scared of. In this Target right now, you point out to me which men I should and should not be fucking scared of. Well, I don't know. Exactly. At least a bear wouldn't fucking show videos and photos and dap up their buddies after. At least a bear couldn't say the words, well, she liked it, she asked for it. A bear would probably leave you alone even after you were dead. To get most bears to leave you alone, all you have to do is scream loud enough. Can't say the same. Women are asking their guy best friends, their boyfriends, their husbands, their fucking fathers, and they're all saying the same thing. Why do you think that is? Bears don't grasp the concept of wrong and right, but you know who does.
Thankfully, for my sanity, not everyone, brothers and fathers were saying the exact same thing. Some of them had some sense. But just so we're, being empathetic with the sentiment, it's to them, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you guys can understand. To them, it's not necessarily about survival in this case. They've kind of already foregone the conclusion of they're going to die or worse, something. They would choose certain death over what the man could possibly do to them. Do we get that?
I already got that point.
Okay.
But I was thinking survival-wise.
Right.
That's why I said I get where they're coming from. My mind already went there because I'm a woman. Right. I have to deal with these kind of things, but me personally, I would still choose the guy and I'd probably just try to kill him.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense to me. But talk about that, man. Maybe it can help me. Maybe I don't get it right. Um, do you go about your normal day? Like, is there ever a time where it's like you're afraid or like from random men? Like, not
Yeah.
like okay, so okay, let me finish. Damn. So not like not like I
Simple
mean,
questions,
if
simple
you
answers.
like. Not, I mean, like, at middle of the night, moments, people following you or something like that. Or I'm talking about like, because they're talking about man, like anywhere, like you said, in the grocery store. You ever been in a grocery store and man,
Yeah.
okay, she's, I mean,
Yeah. Women are not safe. People are crazy. Somebody will follow you to your car and do something to you.
Good. Let me ask you. So you say women aren't safe. I mean, and it sounds like you're implying women are not safe from men.
I mean, men are usually the ones that do stuff to them.
Fair
I
enough.
mean, not
Okay,
all
you know
the
what?
time.
Right,
Not
right.
all the time, because I have talked to some women, they've gotten jumped by other women and things like that.
Oh,
But
definitely.
in a general sense, guys are usually the ones to do something to women.
Definitely. Now, that's actually my other point. Is that they do use that. They try to use statistics to basically prove their point, which is probably the most concerning point for me. If it was just I'm afraid of what possibly a man could do to me, and that's why I would rather die than risk that option of having that being done to me, that would be fine. It's when they start reading statistics off about how 90% of the violence done to women is from men, right? That obviously is ridiculous. I mean, you don't want violence against anybody, obviously. But when you look at the statistics and how much of that is, how much we can verify, let me state that, like how much we know that happens. Because, people will say much more than that happens. But at the same time, you can't verify that and how much of that was people, lying or whatever the case may be. But of the known cases, let's say like sexual assault, I think like this year, on average, it's like 400,000 to 500,000 incidents, technically. That's if we're counting.
Is that worldwide or in the U.S. or
in the U.S.? No. Some of the other countries. Some of the other countries, trust me. Yeah, this way better than there. But 400,000, roughly, a little bit more than that. Say 500. That's less than 1% of the entire male population in the United States. You see what I'm saying? But that doesn't invalidate your fear. Like you're definitely valid because it only takes one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be honest. When I'm at work, like working with some women, like I'm afraid of getting accused of something of sexual assault, something like that. Now, how often does that happen? I'm hoping. I'm guessing. Obviously, it doesn't happen most of the time, but it only takes one. It only takes one story to be like, nope, I don't never want to have this happen. So I definitely get it. At the same time, though, I would still choose a woman over a bear.
Well, yeah. You don't have to be afraid of a woman.
No.
Majority of the time.
Right. I'm not like physically afraid of random women. I'm afraid of random women like socially and criminally speaking. Because I've seen plenty of cases of dudes going to jail from not actually doing anything or like they, after the fact regret and their lives are over. Because 5 or 10 years in jail, that's pretty much it. You can come out and what job you gonna get? You're gonna do some manual labor type stuff. Hopefully, you can try to make some money. But you know what I'm saying? I grew up and I was trying to, I was trying to be in the sports and trying to be, go to pros, something like that. Obviously I didn't work out. But that was always my thought process. If I'm at work, let me not say something to this person because I've heard the stories or some dude got fired because somebody said he said something in California. You can say something to one person. I can say something to you, Amanda, and Zach get offended, and then now I'm in trouble, or vice versa, basically. So from that, now obviously it's not the same as like bodily harm and getting kidnapped and stuff like that. I mean that can happen still. So it's like Jeffrey Dahmer murdered dudes. So I'm not saying all this to like invalidate your feeling. I know how it sounds. Like I definitely get it.
Multiple examples I could give you.
Uh-huh.
So, and I've told them on this podcast before. I've gone to a gas station before, and a guy saw me there, kept trying to bother me. I was trying to get in my car. He tried to pull the door open while I'm trying to get in the car. He was trying to pull me out the car because he wanted to talk to me so bad. I said I had a boyfriend. I called somebody, acting like I was talking to my boyfriend, all different kinds of things. He did not care. I don't even know how I got out of there, but I got out of there and I made sure he did not follow me. I passed my house, went somewhere else, then came back home when I noticed he was not behind me. I went to the same gas station a few days later, saw the same guy, so I stopped going to that gas station.
Yeah, it would been a wrap for that
Same,
gas station.
same thing with the laundromat. I used to go to a laundromat around the corner from my apartment. Same thing. A guy was following me around being weird in the laundromat twice. So I stopped going to that laundromat. And then I went on a date with a guy one time, and sometimes people take separate cars, sometimes people go in the same car together. So I went on a couple dates with this guy. And I think the first few times we took separate cars. This time we met up at a restaurant and then we were going to go hiking and whatever. So we left my car at the restaurant. We went hiking. The guy would not let me leave. He literally was trying to kidnap me, basically. Like I said, I have to go meet up with my friend after this. Like we have plans, whatever. He did not care. He pulled out a picnic because he said, we're having a picnic, even though you just went to eat and I showed up late and whatever. We're having a picnic. You're not leaving until I take you back to your car. Guys are crazy, okay?
Fair enough.
Yeah. I understand, like, those kind of experiences, they leave a very poor taste. Like, it kind of leaves such a bad taste in your mouth that it is very easy to then say, like, I have to be on my toes in every situation because you never know when that next guy is around the corner. But I think the difficult thing to process as a guy hearing these things, and hearing how these girls respond, is that it's kind of like the one bad apple type of scenario, because like there's so many guys out there that do wonderful things for the women in their lives, and then they have other girls that they may pass by a girl at a store or whatever, and like they don't even realize it, but she's scared of them, even though they're perfect, gentlemen, and they would never even think to do anything bad to her. But I think this video is made to shine light on the situations that do happen to women every day, and the fact that, like David had mentioned, 90% of these violent acts are committed by men. Now, the video is made to shine light on that. The video doesn't necessarily reflect the fact that those statistics could also be used to show a different narrative of, less than 1% of men would actually do this. And men could be very trustworthy and could be very good. But the video's target audience is women, to kind of like help women understand that there is a valid reason for fear out there.
I get where you're coming from, Zach. I do, because I was thinking that too. But I think also certain people might just attract these kind of people, Like, I feel like I've had way too many experiences, so there must be something about me that attracts these type of guys. And that might be the same thing for all these other women. So they have so many experiences that they're just like, oh my gosh, I can't trust nobody.
Yeah, because for you, it's not the one experience, it's many.
Multiple, yeah.
Very interesting. Recently, I spoke to a judge, not because I was in court, don't be racist, but recently I spoke to a judge. I spoke to a judge who had been a lawyer and a cop before, and he was actually a judge that he signs the warrants. Like, I don't know if you ever seen Law and Order SVU, like in the middle of the night they go to a judge's house. He's like he's that type of judge, right? And I was asking him little questions and stuff, and he was talking about like the cops. I was like, he was saying like certain cops can be kind of jaded in that sense, where it's like you got to think all the people they really interact with, for the most part, are people who've done something wrong, like whether it be a driving infraction or guns or drugs, something like that. They kind of deal with the worst of the worst on a daily basis. So if you keep doing that, it's like you can kind of be like jaded into thinking like that is just society, like that is just all of them. So I definitely understand where it's coming from. where we like hit a road. Before I go forward, Amanda, even with all that being said, you still choose the man, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's make sure.
Just go crazy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
just would.
yeah, I mean, again, because that's based on survivability. I don't now at that point. I don't understand is why that's not factored in. It's simply about the fear, and you know what? I think I know why. I think I know why because the conversation goes from this about the fear of men to what are men going to do about it. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? I feel like now, well, one unequivocally, I or you, Zach, we are not. I don't know if you feel we are not responsible for the bad people who do bad things. The same as some. Who's I'm about to call you the name, Amanda? Sorry. The same way Amanda is not responsible for some mother who does something bad to her child. You see what I'm saying? I would
Yeah.
not get on there and say, "Oh, Amanda, what are you going to do for all the women, abusing their children or something?" You know what I'm saying? That don't make no sense to me. So the opposite is the inverse should be the same. The the implication here is that we are all complicit. You and I, Zach, specifically as men, we are complicit in this society where women are scared of men, basically. Even though I'm not, I think about. I think I know you good well enough. I don't know if you've done anything that's like that dramatic to a woman that she would that
Right.
any other woman would be fearful of you. For me, for the most part, I've been like awkward, not really even talking to the girls for most of my life. So it's like,
Mhm.
like so it's like the expectation of now I'm required to do something as if I'm as bad as that person. I reject wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I don't really know that you are required to do something, but I mean, you can look out for a woman without her really knowing about it. Like if you see a woman at night walking to her car in a dark parking lot, you can kind of like watch and make sure nothing happens to her as she gets into her car.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's watching. That sound like staring. That can kind of get you in the.
It
That's
can, but
right.
if you're far enough away, you're just kind of like watching, looking around the parking lot, making sure.
Right.
I mean, it could be creepy, but at the same time, I mean, you're not really
Yeah.
doing too much, but you're still
I
looking
mean,
out for her.
yeah, the whole it could be creepy thing. I mean, that's a whole nother problem. Like if you're trying to genuinely do a nice thing and
Right.
then like it's almost as if there needs to be a problem with doing something nice. Like
Yeah.
that's not okay. That's got to be creepy, even though you're just trying to make sure she gets into her car. Okay, you're not looking at her ass or something like that. Like
Right.
that's creeping. But
Yeah.
like, if you're just genuinely like, oh, that girl's alone, like that's an alleyway. Let's make sure everything's okay. Like those type of things shouldn't even be labeled that way. And if men could do anything about it, I think that's what we would want to do is just make our genuinely good actions not be labeled negatively. But we can't really do that. That narrative
Yeah.
is not created necessarily by us.
Right. And then
So
there's
uh-huh.
the other. There's another video that within this whole conversation is someone that was linked to this where this girl on a college campus, I think it was on the news actually. Some dude like tried to rob her at gunpoint for her phone,
Damn.
and there was like some
Yeah.
other guy kind of sitting close to it. He didn't do anything; he just chilled. But
Yeah.
she somehow wrestled the gun from him, and like,
Oh yeah.
like
Let's
just like
go.
unloaded it. I was like, "Man, girl, what's up? Like, you still choosing Barry? That's crazy." But so the
Well,
narrative
maybe that woman would choose the guy.
you know what?
Yeah.
You're right. I'll give Gary a benefit of the doubt. But the narrative with that video was just like, "Oh, men are useless." It was like, what? Like, so like it encompasses basically like again, we're responsible whether we did it or not. Almost what it sounds like, and in those type of situations, it's like we're almost expected to do something for a complete stranger.
I mean, in his case, be trying not to get shot either, but maybe I'd call 911.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
do
all happened
something.
really fast.
Yeah.
It was on camera too. It was crazy. So it's like him was just, oh, jump up! I'll save you. I'm Captain. Whatever. It's crazy. On top of that, again, same situation, right? With the women being afraid of men. I've heard a very finite few of cases where the guy steps in a situation with a girl and a man to protect her from the man, right? He ends up getting killed in the process, and then she leaves with the man who killed him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like, now, again, the same situation, right? I'm seeing that one situation, which is obviously not most of them, and saying, I don't want to be like that one dude. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
just keep myself to my. Imagine, like, your man right now, Amanda. Would you want him like stepping into a situation with the girl and the guy, like to kind of break it up? Like, does that ever cross your mind? Like, what if that guy is crazy and he just pew and your man is gone now? Like, what would you want him to do in that situation?
I mean, probably call 911. I don't see him stepping in to help nobody else like that, though.
No shade to him. What about you, Zach? I mean, what would your fiance, right? Yeah, what would your
Yeah.
fiance? What would you think she'd say? If you guys were out and saw you, like there was some guy like get into a physical altercation with a woman, like
Yeah.
what would you do?
I don't know. I guess like probably the number one thing that I would think about in that exact scenario would be like, all right, well, if the situation's getting out of control, make sure that it's contained away from me and my fiance. Like, got to protect her first. That's kind of the number one. I would mainly, more step in if it was something that was interfering directly with us. But I would probably just help in other ways. I don't think I would want to get directly involved because, like you're saying, that's how you accidentally catch a stray, and you can end up being in a very bad situation just because like you stepped in. Now, there's certain times when you have to step in. Like if a dude is doing something absolutely crazy to a girl, like he is,
Yeah.
like whatever, he's actually like hitting straight in the middle of the street like that, then you might go like tackle that guy, like get him off that girl.
Right.
You might be like, well, what are you doing, man? But
What?
very limited situations would I get involved in because it's not worth my own safety because I have a responsibility to my fiance, to my family. I have to be there.
True. I heard what hey man, cut that up. That's about it.
Somebody will go crazy on you for that.
Right. See, that's it. See,
will.
not too much. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
hey man, you should do that. And who said that?
Yeah.
But yeah, so this conversation has been, again, even the internet, it's still going on. Again, from early April, it's still going on. People are still making references to it. And it's just, it started like a random, silly question. I mean, maybe to point out how, women are afraid of men, but they kind of have spiraled into something greater and greater. Some people saying it's silly things like, oh, I picked the bear because people will believe me if I said the bear attacked me. And some dude online was like, you know what? I would not believe you if a bear attacked you and you
And
survived.
you were alive. Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen. So I was like, that was
Right.
funny. I get her point. She's trying to make a point. Some people I guess don't believe you, but at the same time, again, it's like there's no like straight one answer to this. I feel like everything in life,
No.
right? It's not no straight answer. People might not believe you. Some people lie. It's all just unfortunate situation to happen. I mean, the goal would be that none of this happens. And my point I'm getting to is like, what do men do about this fear of women? I don't know that there is anything other than somehow cure crime, which has never happened. You'd have to like mentally alter just to make sure you get them all. Every single, I mean, from man anyway. It's just this whole that part because though a majority of the violence is done by men, I mean, there's still violence happening from women to women. So it's like, is that okay then? Do you get rid of the man's violence, but then the women are still beating your ass? So that's cool. But as long as it's not a man, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I think it's just the extent of what guys would do. Like,
Mhm.
you're not really going to see a woman sexually assault another woman.
Yeah. That's rare case for sure.
I don't know the numbers. I don't know the number. I would agree with you that most of the time it's a dude doing it than a woman to another woman. So that's fair. But to me, it's like it's one of those things where it's again like they say, it's all men until there's no man. When there's no man and it's just women, is it then all women? If it's until there's no women, like obviously the goal would be for everyone to be not doing this, but it's like there's just no way to have freedom and stop this. And it's like So I told somebody earlier, oh, how you deal with this? Oh, it's easy. Go to therapy. Because you need that. If that fear is high, like mind you, this whole bear conversation, I am like deathly afraid of bears. Definitely afraid.
Yeah.
I would choose damn near anything over a bear.
You're a
I'm like,
rational man.
Just
Rational man
oh,
at
I
that
just
point.
can't.
Yeah.
I can't even. I don't know if you can see right here in the back. I got a little. Yeah, I'm gonna read it to you. It says, "What doesn't kill you will make you stronger, except bears. Bears will definitely kill you."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely just the biggest phobia. I don't know what the word is, but a phobia of bears. You would
Yeah.
never catch me anywhere where a bear has been or is possibly able to show up. I don't even like Big Bear. It's a place. There's no bears there apparently. I don't like it. It's got bear in the name. No. You're not catching me slipping.
Not taking no chances. Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, if I had that such debilitating fear of men in this case, I would think I would move very far away from all these men. So, because if they're causing me that much fear, because imagine, like, even with the people you talked about, Amanda, how many men have you encountered today? I don't know if you've left the house or not. Like, have you gone to the store? Have you gone to the gas station?
Once, but I wasn't by myself. So
Okay, so, but even when I was by yourself, I mean, did you see any men out? Like,
yeah, but I didn't pay attention because I was with a guy. So
fair enough. Okay, so you're with a guy, you can turn your brain off. That's good. But even with that, at one point, he was a stranger. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And it's like you eventually trusted him. I mean, it's my point was basically there's so many more encounters you have with men, and I'm thinking of me for myself. If I had this kind of fear, whether rational or not, wherever you want to take it, if it's a fear, it's a fear. It exists. I would see to myself that I am completely away from this element of the fear. You have people talking like this, and they have children, male children. They're married, and it's like it doesn't really make sense to me. Now, obviously, they know these men, right? But it's like at one point you did, just like you don't know these other men.
just think you just have to take a chance at some point. I mean, most women want a relationship and want to be or want families and things like that. So even if you have this fear, you have to take a chance somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. I just think I don't know. What sticks out to me and what's kind of crazy is the fact that that's how much like you can see in the people surveyed how much trauma their experience with men has caused them. Because if you think about it, like they're let's say they're taking about a 90% chance of death with a bear over a 99% chance statistically that they would be put in the forest with a man who has never committed a crime against a woman.
But they don't know that wasn't part of it. It just said a man versus a bear.
but that's the whole thing.
Go ahead,
like, yeah, like that.
It's like
that's what that trauma
basically
shows. Is like that 1% weighs so much in their mind that they think it's so much more than 1% of men out there that are doing these things. They think, in their mind, it's like a 90% chance that they get a man that wants to harm them and not help them. So it's like that level of trauma is the alarming part of all those videos. You see how much pain the men have caused. And that's the thing that like the men out there, if we wanted to fix it, we can't. It's like, it's too far gone.
Yeah.
You gotta just keep trying to lead by example. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like, I mean, if you stuck in the woods with a random, it's a really high chance that man knows nothing about the woods. Y'all both in the same boat. How did I get here? Somebody was like, "Oh, how did the man get here? How did you get here?"
Right. I was wondering, like, was this guy picked? Did he pick himself to go with you? Like,
mind you, stuck in the woods sound like you're stuck right into the bear's habitat on their territory. Which I mean, bears are fairly territorial. That doesn't sound. This doesn't sound good. I don't know.
Yeah, you're gonna get stuck. You're gonna get a man that's like, I'm from Burbank. I Uber Eats all my food. I don't know how to do this.
That's true. So,
and what if it was a gay guy?
Right, like
that's true. Yeah.
So many options. But and what kills me also is that people say, to her, "Oh, most bears aren't trying to harm you." And it's like, I don't think you know most bears.
Yeah,
I don't know what made you fix your mouth to say that.
let's get a survey says on that one.
People like, "Oh, bears are going to do this." How many bears you talk to?
Right.
Yeah.
And what if you happen to get cocaine bear or something?
That thing's indestructible. It's a different breed.
Yeah. Animals can do some things, especially wild animals do some things that no one saw coming, and at the moment you don't even know. Even Steve Irwin got up out of here because of animal. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like, at the end of the day, I wish all these women well. I hope that nothing happens to them. Let me say that. The men who do that are bad and terrible, and you should not be friends with them, man. You should weed these people out because they're terrible people. Because no one should be made to feel this fear. I'll give them that. I can empathize and see how it can be debilitating. How you just randomly, and somebody looking at you, staring at you, I don't know what this man wants. He could want the worst from me, type of thing. And I can see how that can work. So I'm not trying to be, just heartless with it. And I wish them all the best. And I hope we can improve on this somehow in the future. It probably won't, unfortunately, but here's hoping. I'll do my part. I'll make sure all my friends don't do anything to any women in the future, and that's the best I can do. If you take it or leave it, God damn it.
Yeah.
But all right, we went kind of long. All right, cool. That was a good episode. Let us know what you know in the comment section. Which one would y'all choose, a bear or a man? I mean, at this point, I don't know. Maybe we missed something. Who knows? Anyways, let us know in the comment section. Please like and subscribe, and have a good day.
All right. Peace.
Mhm.
Jesus.